Hi, this is Zoika with another short video for you. The patch 7.3.5 is in PTR and I am currently standing in the Horde Embassy in Orgrimmar. You see the round table, the race leaders standing around this table, all but Theron, who is too lazy to be standing, so he asked Lady Leadrin to take his place. And this embassy is located in the best place in Orgrimmar, in Goblin Slums, right atop this muddy lake, pool, whatever it was. We had a fishing daily here to catch some oily small fishes, so I guess we will be seeing these dailies revamped as well. But to be honest, I have logged in to check how the new scaling system works for zones, or rather for mobs in these zones. So it was promised that starting from the next patch we will see the overall scaling of mobs in the world, including leveling zones. It was promised that mobs in starting zones like Durotar or Malgor will be scaling to level 20 and freeze at that level, in classic zones to level 60, in Outland and in Northern to level 80, in Cataclysm and Pandaria to level 90, and Warlords of Draenor zones and legions remain as they are. Let's check the world map to see these new levels. So for starting zones, the levels are 1 to 10, though the mobs scale to level 20, so no one is forcing you to leave this zone and to move to another one if you still want to quest in it. For classic zones, the lower level requirement was kept without changes, while the highest level is currently 60, and this also applies to Blood Mist Isle and Ghostlands, which are technically not the classic WoW zones, but they are second to the starting zone, so this rule applies to them as well. In Cataclysm zones, the lower level requirement was kept without changes, and the highest level is currently 90. For Lich King zones, the lower level requirement was reduced by approximately 10 levels, and for Pandaria zones it was reduced by approximately 5 levels. For Burning Crusade zones, the lower level requirement was kept without changes, but the maximum level is currently 80. And for Warlords of Draenor zones, the lower level requirement was also kept without changes, and the highest level for all of the zones is now 100. I have visited different zones to check how mobs scale, and what I need to say is that aggressive mobs scale more or less correctly, so I see them at the cap level of the zone, and I'm doing this by 110 level characters, so everything is fine. There are some, well, I guess, mistakes, like these boars, which are stuck at level 9, and also peacekeepers in Burning Crusade zones which are still level 70, and so on. I have also checked dungeons. They were changed as well. So now if you enter a dungeon which previously was under level 60, mobs will scale up to level 60 for you. So as a maximum level character in each of these dungeons on normal mode, I see mobs at around level 60. With a lower level character, I see them at the level of this character. Dungeons from Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King, Mist of Pandaria and Cataclysm scale in the same way as the zones, but only their normal versions. So if you enter, for example, a Burning Crusade dungeon as a maximum level character on a normal mode, the mobs there will be at level 81, and if you enter a heroic version of the same dungeon, you will see them being level 70. Well, as far as this scaling was implemented to make leveling easier, I don't think Blizzard will be scaling heroic versions of the dungeons as well. I have also checked raids. and rates weren't changed at all. So classic rates remain stuck at level 60, Burning Crusade rates are tuned for level 70, Wraith of the Lich King rates are tuned for level 80, and so on. So no changes in rates, which is good, especially for people who like visiting them for transmogrants. The last thing about new leveling zones I would like to check is if HP of mobs is scaling according to your gear. So in Broken Isle zone, when you hit the maximum level, the health pool of mobs depends on what you are wearing. If you, for example, remove a piece of your gear, and by remove I mean remove completely, not putting it into your bags, the health pool starts reducing. You can remove more items and see it reducing even more. To check this gear theory, I have taken a level 58 character to Beren Tundra, which is appropriate for her to continue her leveling. Mobs around her are of appropriate level of 58 with a certain health pool. And if I remove a piece of gear from this character, the health pool remains the same. So challenges like Iron Man challenge will still be going on because apparently in leveling zones HP of mobs does not depend on what you are wearing, only on your level. So a brief summary. This new scaling system applies to all leveling zones up to the Legion ones and to normal versions of dungeons, while it does not apply to heroic dungeons and raids. That's all for today, guys. Have a nice day and see you around.